Never underestimate the power of this one simple trick, especially when it comes to your aquariums. I thought I had everything under control, but my tanks were falling apart. Algae blooms, dying plants, stressed fish. Sound familiar? Stick around because what I'm about to share might just save your aquarium and the sanity. Let me guess. You've been doing everything by the book, right? Regular water changes, feeding schedules, even dosing the right fertilizers for your plants. And yet, your aquarium still looks, well, let's just say not YouTube worthy. I've been there. For years, I struggled to keep my tanks thriving. That was until I stumbled upon one simple change. A change that completely transformed my aquariums and made them healthier, more vibrant, and so much easier to maintain. What is it, you ask? Well, I'll get to that in a moment. But first, let's talk about why so many of us get it wrong. Here's the harsh truth. Most aquarium problems stem from a single source: imbalanced ecosystems. You might think your tank is just a glass box filled with water and some pretty decorations, but it's so much more than that. It's an ecosystem, and like any ecosystem, it needs balance to thrive. Too much light, algae takes over. Too little, your plants wither. Overfeeding, your fish's waste builds up, turning the water toxic. And don't even get me started on poor filtration. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're constantly fighting your aquarium? Like it's a never ending battle against algae, murky water, or even unhappy fish? That's exactly where I was until I learned this one game changing trick. The trick? It's all about creating a natural balance. And the key to that balance? Plants. Not just any plants, fast growing ones. Hey, I know what you're thinking, but I once turned my nose up at plants too and said I will never keep plants in my tank. Let me explain why this works. Fast growing plants like Hornwort, Water Wisteria, or even floating plants like Frogbit act as natural filters. They soak up the natural or the excess nutrients that would otherwise feed algae. And they also provide shelter for your fish, stabilizing water parameters and improve oxygen levels. But here's the catch: simply adding plants to your tank isn't enough. You need to go a step further and think about how they working with the rest of your setup. So first let's talk lighting. Too much light will cause your plants to grow like crazy, but it'll also encourage algae. Too little, and your plants will die off. So, how do you find the sweet spot? Use a timer. Set your lights to run about 6 to 8 hours a day, and you'll create a consistent schedule that your plants and fish will thank you for. Next, fertilization. A lot of people think dosing fertilizers is only for advanced aquascapers, but trust me, it's not. Liquid fertilizers or root tabs are super easy to use, and they'll give your plants the nutrients they need to outcompete algae. Just be careful not to overdo it. Start with small and adjust based on your tank's needs. Hey, a pro tip: I take the liquid fertilizer and use half the recommended dose, and then see how the plants respond, and then go from there. Now let's address filtration. Your filter isn't just there to keep the water clear, it's your heart of the aquarium. But here's the thing: filters can only do so much if your tank is overloaded with waste. So, this is where fast growing plants come in again. By absorbing nitrates and other waste products, they take some of the burden off your filter, making your entire system more stable. But what about maintenance? I'll admit, I used to dread trimming plants and cleaning tanks. It felt like a chore. But once I started focusing on fast growing plants, I noticed something amazing. My tanks became self sustaining, algae outbreaks became not obsolete, but rare, and my fish were happier, and the water stayed crystal clear. Maintenance went from being a weekly headache to a quick, enjoyable task. Honestly, to me, it's very calming and takes the day's stress away, and kind of like a Zen like experience. So, here it is. The moment everything changed for me. I remember staring at my tank one night, feeling defeated. The water was cloudy, my plants were yellowing, and my fish looked stressed. I decided to try one last thing. I added a massive bundle of hornwort to the tank, and within days, the transformation was undeniable. The water cleared up, the plants started growing like weeds, and my fish, they were thriving. It was so cool. That's when it hit me. I had been working against my aquarium instead of with it. So by introducing fast growing plants, I was letting nature do the heavy lifting and helping my filtration system. And the best part, I didn't require expensive equipment or hours of work, just a simple shift in how I approach my tanks. So, if you're tired of fighting your aquarium, here's my advice. Stop overcomplicating things. Focus on creating a balanced ecosystem and fast growing plants. Optimize your lighting and keep up with the basic maintenance. Trust me, the results will speak for themselves. Your aquarium will not only look stunning, but it'll also become a healthier, happier home for your fish. So if you found this helpful, subscribe for more tips or check out the next video, how I create a thriving aquarium with just 15 minutes a day, and I will see you there.